Hello guys, it's me Zane, and here is the second part of my stolen video idea. The sequel. Finally, all the orchids which I entered in this competition game something, well, they are blooming right now. But you know, there is some interesting stuff to share with you. Since it's my channel, there is always something interesting here, right? Beach stuff. It just started to rain and you might hear some thunder sounds in this video, whatever. So in this video I thought I'm gonna show you the orchids which started to bloom in the order that they started to bloom actually, because that's the whole point, right? If you don't know what video I'm talking about, you can click on the info card in the corner and check out that video where I actually announced this game. Your job there back then was that you had to comment the blooming order of these orchids which I showed you here, and they were in bud. Well, after that video I went away on a sort of vacation. It wasn't a vacation, it was a dance competition, and I was away for 5 days. Which means I had that gap there when I actually did not know what's gonna open and what's not gonna open. And I started to check out the comments. In the comment section there were some really interesting things going on, and I have my little paper here because I wrote down what I need to know for this video. So there were 7 comments which actually wrote down the whole blooming order, which was really good, I think. But also there were some other comments. There was one comment saying only one bird, and that bird was Vanda, which I guess means that you thought that the one that's gonna be blooming first. We'll see about that. And also there was another comment saying, lol, I'm not sure what orchid is that. Bitch, that's not an orchid. From the 7 people who wrote down the whole blooming order, 5 people actually thought that the Cattleya, Sophrolalia Cattleya Little Hazel M, will be the first bloomer of these orchids. You are right, partially. Because there was an interesting case. Before I went away on my vacation, my orchids started to bloom. Both my Cattleya and my Vanda started to bloom at the same time. The buds actually cracked open in the afternoon on the same day. So I cannot say that there is a first orchid to bloom, because we have 2 first orchids here. My Sophrolalia Cattleya Little Hazel M and my Vanda No ID hybrid. And the interesting thing is, actually 4 people from the 7 who commented thought that my Vanda will open for the last. So this is my Sophrolalia Cattleya Little Hazel M with these 2 tiny but really saturated and beautiful blooms. I just love this plant. Now this is the second time I rebloom it. I bought it when it was in bloom. After it didn't produce any blooms for a long time. I managed to first rebloom my first Cattleya ever, which was this one, and now it's the second time in my care that it's blooming again. And so far it was producing only 1 pseudobulb each year. Now that it started to bloom, it started to produce 2 pseudobulb each year. So I hope that this tendency will continue with this one, because I want to see these blooms quite often, because I love them and they are super saturated. So the first orchid to bloom was my Sophrolalia Cattleya Little Hazel M, and also my white Vanda hybrid. So the first buds actually cracked open on the same day, so this is on the first place as well. So I don't have a name for this one, but as I started to research, well, this is a common garden center hybrid. It might be called something like Princess Mikasa or something like that, because there is a hybrid called like that, and that hybrid is really popular and you can find it commonly in these garden centers. So I really think that this Vanda is actually the Princess Mikasa something white. I'm not sure about the exact name, but you know. So this is her in bloom. Oopsie, don't ruin the root system, Zane. Bitch, that's not good. So as you can see, this spike is just fabulous. I love it. All these different angles show some flowers, which is really great. So you get this 3D-ish effect, bouquet something effect. I'm just fancying these words here. I trick you into thinking that I have a huge vocabulary in English. She did not want to be the last one, so bitch, guess what? It bloomed on the first place together with my red Cattleya. I hope it will keep blooming for me for a long time, and I hope it will keep like producing flower spikes for a long time because I love it. The second place, well, it was nearly shared. Okay guys, so here I have another problematic situation going on. I'm going away and there are some buds which are really close to opening. Since our first problematic situation, the case of my Wanda and the cat Leia, their situation did surprise me. All of the buds, especially my Oncidium buds and this only one bud on my Phalaenopsis, they are both looking like they are gonna open soon. I won't be here to look at them like every day, so I cannot tell which is gonna open first and which is gonna open the second. So right now, maybe I will be lucky and when I got home only one of them will be opened, or the other situation might be that when I come home I will see them opened up and I will judge by their maturity of the flowers, by the shape of them and how open they are. Judging by these factors, I'm gonna tell which has opened first and which has opened for the second. When I came back, I have two more orchids opened up. The Oncidium, Bartley Schwartz something, and my Phalaenopsis. So according to the comment sections and the people who actually commented, the second one to bloom should have been the Oncidium. 4 people voted that the Oncidium will bloom the second. Well, bitch, guess what? It happened. And when I got back from my vacation, the Phalaenopsis, I could actually see on the flower that it wasn't opened for a long time. It was still in the process of opening and maturing completely, that flower. And the Oncidium Bartley Schwartz had like 5 blooms opened up. Judging by this, I could tell that the Oncidium was opened a few days before the Phalaenopsis opened up. So the second place goes to my Oncidium Bartley Schwartz, and oh my god, how I love this orchid. So right now it has these 5 blooms on these flower spikes, and guess what? They are fragrant. Bitch! I love them. They remind me of that old... It was a chewing gum, I think. Even in my parents' childhood there was a pretty famous chewing gum. The fragrance of this one reminds me of that. I love how saturated the sepals and the petals on the top parts are. What detail I really like on the lip. This little amount of fading. Because on this part the lip is really pink and it fades out to this white. So the second place goes to this Oncidium. I just cannot tell you how much I love it. Now, since I told you, the third place goes to my Phalaenopsis, and how I love this Phalaenopsis, oh my god. You have to remember these words because I will not say things like, oh my god, how I love this Phalaenopsis. Okay, so this is my Phalaenopsis orchid, and well, as you can see on the shape, on the pattern, on everything, this is not that typical complex hybrid Phalaenopsis from the garden center. This has some summer blooming genes in itself because the parents, some of them at least, were summer bloomers. And because look at that, the pattern is a summer bloomer pattern and stuff like that. And guess what? Summer blooming Phalaenopsis are fragrant. I smell this one. Bitch, it's not fragrant. If it has a fragrance, it's that typical grassy greenery fragrance, which I don't like. Yeah, there is nothing nice to this fragrance, but still, I love it. I don't have too many blooms because all the others but placed it on me. Shame on you, plant. And on the third place, according to my commenters, well, there was everything. Phalaenopsis, Epidendrum, Wanda, Camellia, Phalaenopsis, everything was basically here. So this is my Phalaenopsis. It's blooming nicely. I love it. That's that. Here comes the fourth place. There is only one orchid which we did not talk about, the Epidendrum. Okay, the last place, according to my commenters, you guessed it will be the Wanda, but if we leave that place out and we only look at the fourth place, 5 people from 7 wrote there in the comment that the Epidendrum will bloom as the fourth orchid to bloom. You were right. So here is my Epidendrum radicans hybrid, and well, it's still not in its full bloom because I still have some buds which need to open there at the top, but I wanted to catch all these flowers while they're blooming, so this is why I'm making this video right now. Okay, a lot of you actually thought that the Wanda will be last, but that bitch is different. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blooms on it. 3 blooms still have to open up. I love it. I love the color because it's super saturated and it's super red. You know, as I said, this is the season of red orchids, and the red is the color of blood and horse. And there is not only the flower, which I really like, but as it sits on a pretty good amount of sunlight. I think I actually showed this to you, but I really love the color of the stem. It's so purple, it's so saturated with anthocyanin because of the high amount of sunshine it gets, and well, you can see it has this red to it, so the anthocyanin will clearly show up more in other parts like the leaves and the stems. Okay, so this is my video for today, and this was the blooming order of these orchids. So on the first place we have the Cattleya and the Vanda. On the second place we have the Oncidium. On the third place we have the Phalaenopsis, aka Peasant. I saw you. On the last place, the fourth place, well, it goes to the Epidendrum, which I really like. This is just the order they opened their blooms. But this was just a fun game, not an experiment. No professional experiments here, okay? We're just having fun on this channel. This is just a silly channel. Don't take it too seriously. You see my hair? Bitch is fucking pink. I'm just a joke, you know? I'm glad that I survived this thunderstorm going on here. So this is my video for today, and I hope you liked it. If you liked it, click on the like button, leave a comment down in my Know It All section below, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my other channel, and follow me on Instagram. See you next time. Bye guys. You know what? I fucking hate that white Vanda, because you know what loves the white blooms? The fucking insects! Every day there are hundreds and millions of insects attracted by the white colors of those blooms. Yeah, bitch! Don't forget to stay tuned to my channel, because we have some fucking exciting spikes going on. I mean exciting. We have some first bloomers, we have some first in my care bloomers, and we have some orchids which just doesn't want to